Hey, what's up everybody? It's Nick from Rise Up Sports and I'm back with another video. Today I am filling out my March Madness bracket. I'm actually doing this on my first YouTube live ever. So I might want to do more lives in the future. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn on notifications so you can know when I go live. We're doing this live. I should post it right after or at some point the same day. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Here we go. Making sure everything looks good. All right, here we go. Who do y'all think I'm going to pick for the first win? Of course, it's going to be Alabama. I don't like Alabama, but I'm picking Alabama, of course. All right, so Alabama is definitely at number one. Maryland, West Virginia is an interesting game for me. If y'all can read this, Maryland definitely doesn't allow very many points per game. Both of these teams are not good versus top 25 teams, and their BPI is pretty similar. West Virginia was bad in conference, but they played in a better conference. So I'm rolling with West Virginia here. Played in a better Big 12 conference. I think they are going to be able to pull it out. San Diego State, Charleston. This has been the most debated 5-12 matchup. I feel like a lot of these 5-12 matchups are always like people are going to assume that it's going to be an upset. I don't always think so though. In this case, it's just when you see that 31-3 record, it's really hard to go against it. And look at these, like everything to me here screams like Charleston. And I'm going to go with Charleston. I think Charleston will pull up the upset here. Virginia Furman, another one where a lot of people have said that it's going to be a Furman upset. A lot of people actually have Furman going to the Sweet 16. I don't. I have Virginia. I saw Virginia play a lot. They're a really talented team, really good defense. Creighton, NC State, gotta go with Creighton here. I don't think NC State can match up quite well enough with Creighton. Baylor and UC Santa Barbara. There is no shot that UC Santa Barbara beats Baylor. It's not gonna happen. People are calling that upset. There's no way they're gonna let that happen. Utah State and Missouri. This is one of the ones I actually don't know about. This one's tough for me. I could see it going either way. I don't think either of these teams are that great. A lot of people have been on Utah State though, and just because I honestly don't know anything about these teams, I'm going to take Utah State just because, and I'm going to take Arizona to beat Princeton. Let's go down and then we'll go across. No, down and let's go across first. Houston, Northern Kentucky. Obviously, I'm taking Houston. Why wouldn't I? I'm wearing a U of H hat. I'm not not going to not take Houston here, obviously. Iowa and Auburn, definitely taking Auburn. They're playing in Birmingham. There's no chance that Iowa will beat Auburn. Won't happen. I like Chris Murray a lot at Iowa, but Auburn playing a home game basically. Yeah, no way. Miami and Drake. You couldn't even see that. I'm sorry. Miami and Drake. A lot of people are calling that Drake upset. I don't see it. I see Miami. They're a really good team. My upset pick though is Kent State over Indiana. I saw Indiana play a lot, and I saw Kent State play a few times, and I saw them play Houston. I was at the game, Houston-Kent State. They gave Houston everything that we could handle. Like, it was brutal. Iowa State, Mississippi, or Pittsburgh, or Mississippi State and Pittsburgh. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh will win the game against Mississippi State, and then Iowa State will lose to really whoever. I mean, obviously today or tomorrow is when Pittsburgh plays, and obviously depending on who wins this game, I think I might change it around, but I think Pittsburgh would beat Iowa State. Xavier, Kennesaw State, don't see this upset at all. A&M and Penn State, again, people are taking Penn State. I think A&M's a really good team, and then Texas will beat Colgate. Not a whole lot of upsets in this region. Well, I guess two, more than I thought, actually. And then in the East region, Purdue is not going to lose their first round game. Not a chance that happens. Memphis will beat FAU. I mean, a lot of people are on FAU saying that they're going to, they're on a hot streak, and they are. But Memphis is a really, really talented team. They beat Houston a couple days ago, or 3 or 4 days ago now. Duke, Oral Roberts is one that I could see going either way. I'm going to take Duke, though. I don't think Oral Roberts will quite get it done. Duke's, I think, too talented of a 5 seed. They should not be a 5 seed, in my opinion. They're way too talented for that. Let's see, Tennessee and Louisiana. Louisiana played in a pretty bad conference, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to take Tennessee. Kentucky, Providence. I don't see Kentucky losing. They lost last year way too early. I think they're going to be on a revenge kind of tour, and they're also really talented. They have a lot of good players with Cason Wallace, Oscar Tshiebwe. Kind of like all I need to see right there. Kansas State and Montana State. Don't see Montana State being Kansas State. So Kansas State there. Michigan State, USC. This is one where I think it could go either way, but I'm going to still take Michigan State. USC is a good team. This one, I've seen a lot of people pick the 10 in this one. Not for me. And if we look back at the 10 seeds, I have taken 10 seed. There could be another one coming. Who knows? Marquette, Vermont. Obviously, for my guy Zach, who's watching this live, I'm going to take Marquette this first game. Okay, so Kansas, Howard. Don't see a 16 seed winning this year. Just don't see it happening. Fairleigh Dickinson, if they beat Texas Southern, I could see them beating Purdue, but I don't think it's going to happen. They played really good to get to where they are, but I don't see it happening. Arkansas, Illinois. I love Nick Smith Jr. and Anthony Black. Like them two on a team, they're going to be two NBA, not even NBA players, really good NBA players. And I think Arkansas will get past Illinois. St. Mary's, VCU. Don't see St. Mary's losing this. UConn, Iona. Again, UConn, I think we'll run through this. TCU versus ASU or Nevada. Could see this being another one. I'm going to take TCU, though. Gonzaga, Grand Canyon. Don't see Grand Canyon pulling off that upset. And then I'm going to actually take Boise State over Northwestern here, and then UCLA. So if we go back, here we are around 32. It will get quicker, I promise. It's not going to be a 15-minute video. All right, Alabama, Virginia here. Definitely taking Alabama. Sorry, West Virginia. West Virginia is, like I said, they're not a very good Big 12 team, but they barely got in. Now, Charleston, Virginia. Here's my upset pick. I actually have two upset picks. Charleston beating Virginia in round 2. So that is one of my Cinderella pick. Virginia, they're a good team, and I think they'll get past Furman. But Virginia, honestly, they sometimes struggle to score. And I think Charleston, a team that really doesn't, they score a lot of points. Like, if you look at this, they keep their opponents to a pretty realistic level there, but they score 80 a game. I mean, that is, when you hold your opponent to 67, and look, they hold their opponent to 67, Virginia only scores 68 a game. That pretty much evens out. But it's all about if Virginia's defense can stop Charleston's offense, and I don't think it's going to happen. So one of my picks there, I'm going to pick Creighton to upset Baylor in the round of 32, and then I'm going to pick Arizona to beat Utah State there. Going here, I'm going to pick Houston to beat Auburn. It's going to be close just because Auburn's playing in Birmingham. It's going to be a tough game, but I really don't see a way Auburn wins. They have a talented team, but Houston, obviously, assuming Marcus Sasser is back, I don't see Houston losing. Here's my other one. Kent State will beat Miami. Kent State will beat Miami in the second round. I have Kent State beating 4 Indiana and number 5 Miami. And I want to see the rematch. Houston, Kent State, I want to see that rematch. That would be such a fun game to see. And let's go here to Mississippi State, Pittsburgh versus Xavier. We're going to take Xavier here. A&M and Texas. I love this kind of rivalry. I don't see A&M beating Texas, unfortunately. And then down here, I'm going to take Purdue over Memphis. I think Memphis could pull off that upset, but I don't think it'll happen, and I have Duke over Tennessee. I'm going to take Kentucky over Kansas State. I could definitely see Kansas State they have some really talented players. Marquise Noel, I think, is one of them, and then Keontae Johnson, the other one. Really talented players, but Kentucky, I think they have a lot of talent as well. Michigan State versus Marquette. I see Marquette winning this game. Don't really see a way they lose against Michigan State, or USC for that matter, to be honest. Kansas versus Arkansas. This is where Kansas goes down. I see Arkansas beating Kansas, and then I have UConn beating St. Mary's. TCU, Gonzaga. I see Gonzaga winning, and I see UCLA winning. So if we go up, here is Sweet 16. I have Alabama ending Charleston's run here, and then I'll have Arizona beating Creighton. I think those are the best two teams in this region, and then I'll have Houston to beat, once again, Kent State, and I will have Texas beating Xavier to meet in the Elite Eight. Down here, let's go to Purdue. I have Purdue losing to Duke. I think Duke will make it to the Elite Eight, and then I'm going to have, this one is tough for me. This one's really tough. Kentucky or Marquette. I think Kentucky's really good. I'm gonna pick Marquette to get there. I think Marquette's a really good team. I just don't know that I don't think they'll blow out. I think Kentucky Marquette will be a really, really fun game to watch. And then I'm going to pick UConn. I think UConn, really talented team. They were up at the top early on and they have kind of stayed. They kind of had a struggle, but they've come back. And I think this will be a really fun game if that happens too. Then I'll pick UCLA to beat Gonzaga. So I do have some number 1 seeds. Don't worry. I have 1-2, 1-2 in the South and the Midwest. And then I have 1-5, 8-4 in the East and the West. So, or in the Elite 8 to get to the Final 4. I'm going to have Arizona beating Alabama. I'm going to have Houston beating Texas. It's funny, Houston, Texas. It's funny. And then down here, I am going to have Duke ending Marquette's run, unfortunately. And I'm going to have UCLA beating UConn. So some interesting ones here. In my Final 4, I have Arizona and Duke and Houston and UCLA. I think it could be a really, really fun Final 4 if this is the Final 4. Now down here, I honestly don't know if it's that much of a hot take. I mean, Kansas, Arkansas won. I think if Kansas got past Arkansas, I could definitely see Kansas getting all the way here and then possibly beating UCLA. But I think UCLA is so talented. I mean, they have so many good players. When you think of Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez and Adem Bona, like they're so talented. They have so many guys. Obviously losing to Arizona in the Pac-12 tournament, but I think it all comes down to injuries, and if they can get healthy, I definitely think it could happen. So in my Final 4, I'm going to have Duke getting past Arizona. I think Duke has just, at the right time, they've gotten healthy. But this would be a crazy game as well. And then, of course, I'm going to have Houston beating UCLA to have a Duke-Houston championship. I'm going to have Houston cutting down the nets and winning the national championship in Houston, Texas. I'm going to predict a score of 65-63. It's going to come down right to the wire. These teams are both going to be locking each other up. It's going to be super fun. So this is my national championship. I'm going to submit, and I have Houston cutting down the nets in Houston. So that is it. If y'all have any questions for the video, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next Rise of Sports.